My name's Aaron. Welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. And today, for the House of Yves Saint Laurent, I am reviewing MYSLF EDP Perfume. This is £99 for 60ml and going off the Yves Saint Laurent site. If you would like to read about what it is, that it's born to last, it's born bold, born responsible, and born yourself, you're welcome to go to the site and read. I don't particularly want to. Okay, the keywords, it's got perfume, cologne, men's fragrance, masculine, vanilla, wood, orange blossom, black pepper, woody, floral, amber. Do we have our bottles of YSL myself? Are we engaged with our high self? Let's get testing. Okay, let's have a look at the atomizer. Ugh, plastic, oh crap, oh gap. This is so lovely, and this I think devalues it. I would love metal or like something else. It really devalues it, and these brands can get things so cheap they're buying in bulk. Ugh. Feels very cheap and flimsy, but this feels very lovely. Okay, you can feel the water in this because it feels wet when it hits the skin, and fragrances which are very viscous and higher in an oil content, you don't get that sort of wet feeling. This smells like YSL, and this smells, well, it just smells like the work, a little bit more updated. My problem has been with the long range. It's not really a problem. The way they were constructed were very musk heavy. And when formulas are very musk heavy, you don't get radiance. And I always love radiance. And I think the positive side for fragrances that are sort of under 60, I would say under £60, is that you want lots of volume and lift actually. And the substantiality, the length of time a fragrance lasts will be less. That's how I think of these fragrances actually. And you get the beautiful top note and you make it sort of 3 to 4 hours and then you reapply. But the L'Homme range was constructed in such a way they were quite heavy and didn't really have a substantial top note. That was always my criticism. This seems to have fixed that problem. Seems to be much more balanced in a third top, third middle, third base. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Definitely masculine. Fragrances seem to be moving in a very sweet direction, and maybe the new generation of fragrance connoisseurs seem to like this metallic sweetness. This utilizing a really lovely musk accord actually. High-tech cannabinoid mixed with ethylene brassylate to smooth and give softness to the formula actually. When I am designing a fragrance, I'm designing limited edition summer one now, 2025. And this fragrance which I've been designing, most of the time actually was designing around the musk accord. I got the naturals really easy, really quick. I spent a lot of time working with the musk accord because it gave it different energies to it. So that I found quite interesting, and people perceived it very, very differently. But in this fragrance, the musk accord is very nice, and I think it's done at the right amount actually to give it lift and smoothness. I love the C notes in this. I love the cleanliness through the core actually, like the sweetness to it. My favorite thing about men's perfumery is there's a sort of metallic apple note. It was in Dior's Homme, the up-to-date version, 2025 version of, I really love that. That's very nice. And it's in this as well. This sort of clean metallic apple finish to it. Very, very much appreciate, and I am enjoying that with this. Love the choice of naturals. I can't imagine this at a long development time, if I'm honest with you. These fragrances are, if you're experienced, they're quite easy to do. They're just very, very easy to do. You have your aroma chemicals that you would use, and you would stick to it and then move it around depending where you want to go, and then add within the naturals. This is the bergamot, the lemon. Onto my final thoughts. It's got a beautiful, slightly, I just love the metallic nature of this, and that's the aroma chemicals combined with pink and black pepper. That's very nice. I think it's very linear and very masculine, very youthful. It's radiant on me actually, so I always get surprised at very radiant fragrances. But the thing I've noticed with fragrances that are initially very radiant, they generally trail off, and that's absolutely fine because I think that's the flip side to fragrances that have lots of substantialness and are quite heavy and sit on the skin, kind of one or the other. This I really like, and I would personally Love a fragrance has lots of lift and volume. I'm talking about under £100. For over £100, I kind of want both. This is more tricky perfumery. This I would apply after 4 to 6 hours. I think it's very nice. Very friendly. Smells like YSL. Very familiar, very easy, not scary, nothing scary or challenging at all. The price is really nice. I love the bottle. I mean, obviously my brand is black and graphic. I love this. I wish the cap had been metal. I really, really wish that. It's like, the price would have gone up slightly for them to produce it, but I think it devalues it. I know I go on about it a lot, but when you've got a really heavy bottle, that's obviously a lot of time and effort with this, and it just looks very cool. And then you got a crap old plastic cap on the top. It just feels like it's devaluing it, even though it's got the YSL emblem on the top. I'd love a little bit more there. I think it would have been excellent. So I'm going to take a mark off of that because it does devalue it, and I expect more, especially with companies like this. I really like the fragrance. I think the price is really good. I love the lift and volume to it. It smells modern, up to date, very easy to wear, very, very inoffensive, and I'm going to mark it an 8 out of 10. If, however, it had a better cap, because I quite like it, I think it's very easy to wear, I will give it a 9. I think this is just a very, very easy dumb reach fragrance. I think this is good for sort of all occasions. You're going to get bored of it because it's the nature of it. That's the only thing with it, but I think it's very nice, very familiar. I think it's been constructed in an elevated way. So I think the perfumers this is in my opinion, of course, I'm not there, fragrance evaluators. It has some elevation to the perfumery. I think they've solved the problems that they've had. So I think if you're kind of struggling for performance issues, this has corrected it. And they do a Perfumer, and I'm going to test that at some point. So I hope you love that review. Thumbs up and subscribe on fascinating, interesting content, lots of moving hands, and lots of fragrance views. Hope you're staying safe and well. See you soon.